Good afternoon. So today's topic is my pilgrimage that I will be taking in a couple of next week, actually, in a week. I will be going to Spain for 30 days, and it is a pilgrimage called El Camino de Santiago de Compostela, and it is technically a Catholic pilgrimage, but it's very interesting because people from all over the world go. That it's a very high season at the time that I'm going. I think they receive more than 1 million, caminantes, or people that pilgrims that do the pilgrimage. I don't know if it's throughout the year or just this heavy duty high season, and then there's more. So who knows? But there's people of all religions that go, or not religion, right? That go and do this walk. So the original walk, there's different routes, and so the walk that I will be doing is called El Camino Francés, the French way. So you start in Jean-Pierre de Port, Saint Jean Pierre de Port is, I think, what it's called. Please excuse, I'm butchering all my French. And so I start from there. I think the first walk, and the first day you transfer over, you cross the border between France and Spain, and you end up in Roncesvalles. And so it's 32 days. Your average walk is about I believe it's 12.1 miles, so it's 21.1 kilometers, and it takes you anywhere from, it takes the pilgrim that is walking, it takes them anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, depending on how fit they are, what their pace is, and and just sort of what their stamina is to get there. And very interesting, because by car it takes you like 15 minutes, or 12 minutes, so it's very, very interesting. It's a 32-day walk with no rest periods. If you take a rest period, then it's going to take a little bit longer. And then you go to these like little pueblitos or little villages, and you just sort of end up there, and you stay at hostels or convents or whatever's available. I'm going through high season, so I was a little concerned, but I have at least 2 weeks booked, so I'm sort of set to go. I will be leaving next week, and so I'm very, very, very excited about this pilgrimage that I'm taking. I usually do pilgrimages. I've done them here in the States, in New Mexico, which is close to my state of Texas, and I usually do it for Easter. I go to this very sacred place, Chimayo. I did a YouTube video on that. So I've been wanting to do this pilgrimage for a long time. Well, I was a principal. I had an incredible administrative staff, and I loved them dearly, and they loved me. So one of my assistants one time told me, Miss Erwin, because they knew that I was very spiritual, so they told me, you know what, Miss Erwin, here's the gift. So she gave me a gift, and it was a book by Shirley MacLaine, and it was called El Camino. And she says, I'm giving you this book because I see that one day you will walk the Camino. And I had never heard of it, honestly, until she brought it up. And I said, you're crazy, Rebecca. I'm not going to do El Camino. That's like, it's 778 kilometers. I said, I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. Are you kidding me? And then they stay in hostels or whatever, because as you all know, I'm kind of prissy. And so she says, well, I feel that one day you're gonna do it, and you're gonna get it done. So this year I was gonna go with my family. Very interesting, because I was going to go with my ex-husband, and I was going to go with my children. I traveled with my ex-husband really well, and we're still in good terms because he's an incredible man. And so we were going to go all together. We were going to take a family trip, but it just got very complex, and it just got very complex. So what happened? Actually, my daughter told me, I don't know that we should go. We're going to go to Spain for a couple of days, and then we're going to have to take you to this very remote place that we're going to drop you off, sort of for Bible school. I don't think that I think it's too expensive, and I think it's not enough time. So even though we don't want you to go alone, why don't you go alone? And so I did. Of course they're not gonna do it. It's my pilgrimage, and so it's my walk, right? And so it's about walking. So I will be treading, and I will be going on this pilgrimage. And so back to my assistant. So my assistant told me, one day I'll I know that you'll take it. And so she gave me the book. I loved it. I fell in love with it. I just recently saw The Way, which is a book, a TV movie, and I saw it on TV because I don't watch movies or TVs, and so it was about The Way, and it was with one of the actors, Sheen. It was lovely. So very interesting, because my ex-husband tells me, you've been talking about, doing the Camino for such a long time. And I said, and I didn't think I had been talking about it for such a long time and had been preparing for it. I had actually prepared about 2 years ago, but, things happened and there was changes in my life. So I had to put it on hold. And so here I am 2 years later, ready to go on it and have everything booked and everything set as much as I can, because logistically it's a nightmare. But I've had a lot of help, and I had really good friends that sort of gave me their cheat sheet and their spreadsheet, and that's it. So as I reflected upon what my ex-husband told me, I started really thinking about how long I had really been thinking about this. And so it's been more than 7 years that I've been really wanting to go to Camino, and I never thought that I would. So I'm very, very excited. I wasn't planning on doing a blog or doing a YouTube video. I didn't think anybody was interested, and I just didn't know how that was going to go. But all my students know that I'll be going. They've been more than supportive, and I've had an inundation of wishes and prayers and wishing the best, and really hoping to see what it is that I upload. And so as I was leaving, one of my students said, "Hey, Miss Erwin, so I'll watch you on YouTube so you can document your trip." And I said, "Are you interested?" And they're like, "Yes," because I had been very disappointed. I had really been thinking about really closing down my YouTube and shutting it off. It's a lot of work, and I'm not getting the views that that I thought that I would get by this time. And so I just sort of feel that, nobody's really interested, and it's just sort of my students, and I haven't really progressed in that sense. So, so I think I'm really going to reflect about how, if I should continue or not. I really was going to think about closing, just not doing YouTube anymore, because it's a lot of work. But I do it for my students, and I do it for anybody else that's out there that might need the message, and that might need, a message that sometimes we need to hear in very difficult and maybe desperate times. So I will be chronicling my Camino, and very much looking forward to it. And I thank my assistant, who, because of her, she implanted the idea in me, and I have apparently been working on it for a long time, close to a decade. I also, go to this spiritual leader for guidance, and she's a nun, very interesting, and so she is very interesting because she's very knowledgeable about all sorts of stuff about Jesus and the Bible and history and all that. And so as I told her, because I am a little worried and I'm a little concerned, it's the first time I've ever traveled by myself. I will be going by myself. And it's the first time I travel without my family, whom I love dearly. And so I was bringing up those concerns, and she said, do not fear. You have been, preparing for El Camino, and you have been walking El Camino all of your life, and it is through, the guidance and the light of God that you have been doing your life anyway, as such, and you will definitely be guided as you have said you are. Because I told her, I'm a little concerned, but I know that I will be guided, and I know that I will be well, and that I will hopefully, part of the reason of going to Camino is it's a spiritual journey, and hopefully with this spiritual journey of mine, I don't know what I will what I will encounter or who I will be when I come back, and I am a little concerned of how it will change me, because I know that it will be an enormous change in me, but I know that it'll be for the better, but I don't know how much of an impact. So it will be a life-changing journey and trip and experience, and I can't wait to share it with you all. And definitely I have been walking the Camino for, it has been my purpose in life to be an educator, to help, and to facilitate whatever it is that I can within my power for the people that I encounter. And so hopefully with this Camino, I can ascend a couple of levels in spirituality and come back and further help everyone that I encounter, specifically my students and everybody that I come across. So with that, I highly encourage you to like, share, and whatever, because it is through that I will do my ratings. Not that my students, aren't significant. Of course they are, but I'm probably going to be hitting close to a year. I think I don't know how long, but I should be at 100,000 views, and I'm not. I'm like 140, and I lost a subscriber or whatever. So so really reflecting on whether I should continue with this. But for now, I will be journaling, and I will be uploading our you know our my walk, and we'll see how you all see me evolve through this journey of mine. Please join me. It will be an incredible ride, an incredible trip, and it will be a trip of a lifetime. Blessings. See you later.